What if one small nutrient could protect your heart, power your brain, ease your joints, and even lift your mood? But almost everyone is getting it wrong. For millions of seniors, omega-3s are that nutrient. And while they're packed with potential benefits, many people over 50 are unknowingly making serious mistakes that block these effects entirely. If you've ever taken fish oil or eaten salmon thinking you're doing your heart a favor, you might be right. But are you getting the right kind? Are you taking it at the right time, in the right ratio, and in the right form? These details matter more than most people realize. And when they're overlooked, the omega-3s you're relying on for better health might be doing very little. Here's what we'll uncover today: the 9 most common omega-3 mistakes seniors make, and more importantly, how to avoid them. These aren't just nice-to-know tips. These are critical insights that can impact your memory, your cholesterol, your inflammation levels, and even your risk of chronic disease. You might be wondering, can you take too much fish oil? Is flaxseed oil really a good alternative? What if you've been spending money on supplements that are already rancid or oxidized before they even reach your bloodstream? We'll answer all of that. The truth is, omega-3s are essential fats that the body can't make on its own. Yet they play a massive role in how we age. They support heart rhythm, reduce joint pain, protect brain function, and even influence your mood and sleep. But they only work if your body is absorbing them, and if you're getting the right types in the right amounts. In this video, you won't just learn what to avoid. You'll walk away with a practical, senior-friendly strategy to make omega-3s work for you, not against you. Stick with us to the end, because mistake number 9 is something even health-conscious seniors overlook, and correcting it might be the simplest way to boost your brain and protect your heart, starting today. Mistake number 1. Thinking all omega-3s are the same. When most people think of omega-3s, they think fish oil and stop there. But not all omega-3s are created equal, and lumping them together is one of the biggest mistakes seniors make. There are 3 main types of omega-3 fatty acids: ALA, EPA, and DHA. ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, is found in plant sources like flaxseed, chia seeds, and walnuts. EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid, and DHA, docosahexaenoic acid, are found in marine sources like salmon, sardines, and fish oil supplements. And here's the key: while ALA is technically an omega-3, it's not nearly as powerful or bioavailable as EPA and DHA when it comes to human health. Your body can convert ALA into EPA and DHA, but the conversion rate is shockingly low, often less than 5%, and sometimes as low as 0.5% in older adults. That means if you're relying on flaxseed or walnuts for all your omega-3s, you're likely missing out on the benefits that truly matter for brain function, heart health, and joint mobility. EPA is especially known for its anti-inflammatory effects. It helps reduce joint pain, supports cardiovascular health, and can even improve mood in some individuals. DHA, on the other hand, is a critical structural fat in your brain and eyes. It supports memory, cognitive processing, and visual acuity, areas that naturally decline with age. DHA also plays a key role in maintaining the health of neurons and reducing the risk of age-related cognitive decline. If you're taking a supplement that only contains ALA or claims to be plant-based omega-3, it's important to know that it won't provide the full spectrum of benefits associated with EPA and DHA. That's not to say ALA is useless. It has some cardiovascular benefits, but for most seniors, it's simply not enough. To get real results, you need to prioritize marine-based omega-3s. Look at your supplement label. Does it list both EPA and DHA? Does it say how much of each? A good omega-3 supplement should provide at least 250 to 500 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA daily, though some studies suggest higher amounts are even more beneficial for older adults. Also, be aware of marketing tricks. Some supplements list 1,000 milligrams of fish oil on the front label, But when you flip to the back, you find out it only contains 180 milligrams EPA and 120 milligrams DHA. The rest is just filler oil. You're not getting what you think. Another thing to consider is that not all bodies absorb omega-3s equally. Age, gut health, and genetic differences can influence how well your body processes these fats. That's why it's so important not only to choose the right types, but also to ensure your supplement is bioavailable, meaning your body can actually absorb and use it. For better absorption, look for triglyceride or reesterified triglyceride forms, rather than the cheaper ethyl ester forms, which are less well absorbed. These small differences in how the oil is processed can translate to big differences in results, especially for older adults whose digestion may already be compromised. Mistake number 2, taking the wrong ratio of EPA to DHA. Once you've chosen a fish oil that actually contains EPA and DHA, there's another layer of complexity that often goes unnoticed: the balance between the two. This is mistake number 2, taking the wrong ratio of EPA to DHA. EPA and DHA are both incredibly important, but they serve different roles in the body. EPA is more anti-inflammatory. It helps regulate your immune response, lower triglycerides, support cardiovascular health, and ease joint pain. DHA, on the other hand, is structurally vital for the brain, the retina, and nerve cells. It supports cognitive function, protects against memory loss, and helps maintain healthy brain aging. Most fish oil supplements contain both, but the ratio can vary dramatically. Some are EPA heavy, some are DHA heavy, and many don't even specify the balance. For seniors, getting the right ratio can make a big difference depending on your specific health goals. For example, if your primary concern is inflammation or heart health, a higher EPA content might be more beneficial. That's because EPA plays a leading role in reducing systemic inflammation, which contributes to everything from arthritis to cardiovascular disease. But if your focus is cognitive health and brain aging, DHA should take the lead. DHA makes up a significant portion of the brain's gray matter and is essential for preserving memory and reducing the risk of age-related cognitive decline, Alzheimer's, and depression. Unfortunately, many products on the market don't provide a clear breakdown. You might see a bottle that says 1,200 milligrams of omega-3s, but unless you flip it over and read the fine print, you won't know how much is EPA, how much is DHA, or how much is just filler oil. For balanced support, especially in older adults, many experts recommend a ratio close to 2-to-1 EPA to DHA for inflammation, or even 1-to-1 or DHA dominant if the focus is more on brain function. Some premium supplements are now formulated specifically for cognitive health or joint health with these ratios in mind. Another issue is that seniors often take whatever is cheapest or recommended without understanding the subtle effects these ratios have on outcomes. It's not just about getting omega-3s into your body, it's about tailoring them to your needs. Here's a practical tip. Always check the supplement facts label. Look for clear quantities of both EPA and DHA. If it only lists total omega-3s, it's likely not a high-quality product. Aim for transparency, not marketing fluff. If you're already taking a fish oil and not noticing much improvement, the ratio could be the issue. Even if you're consistent, a poor formulation might be holding you back from the benefits you were hoping for. Mistake number 3. Using low-quality or rancid fish oil. Let's talk about one of the most overlooked and potentially harmful omega-3 mistakes: using low-quality or rancid fish oil. Many seniors take fish oil thinking they're doing something great for their health, but if that supplement is poorly made, improperly stored, or past its prime, it might be doing more harm than good. Omega-3s are highly sensitive fats. They oxidize quickly when exposed to light, heat, or air. This oxidation process turns them rancid, creating compounds that not only lose their health benefits, but can actively promote inflammation, the exact opposite of what you want. Unfortunately, many over-the-counter omega-3 supplements, especially bargain brands, are poorly processed and stored. You might open a bottle and smell a strong fishy odor and assume that's just normal. It's not. That smell can be a red flag that the oil has gone rancid. Here's the kicker. Rancid fish oil doesn't just taste bad. It can cause gastrointestinal issues like nausea or burping and may increase oxidative stress in your body, the kind that accelerates aging and damages your cells. One 2015 study found that up to 70% of popular fish oil brands tested had levels of oxidation above international recommended limits. That means many people are unknowingly swallowing spoiled oil every day. So how can you protect yourself? First, check for a certification seal from organizations like IFOS, International Fish Oil Standards, GOED, or USP. These groups test products for purity, potency, and oxidation levels. A third-party tested product is your best bet for getting a supplement that actually helps rather than harms. Second, store your omega-3s properly. Keep them away from heat and sunlight. Some high-quality fish oils are even stored in dark glass bottles or refrigerated to protect their potency. Once opened, always close the cap tightly and use them within a few months. Third, trust your senses. A quality omega-3 should have a neutral or slightly marine smell, not a foul or overpowering odor. If your supplement makes you gag or gives you intense fishy burps, toss it and find a better one. It's also important to understand that oxidation isn't always visible or detectable by taste or smell. Some oils degrade subtly, and you won't even know it's happening unless the product has been tested. That's why relying on certifications and company transparency is so important. Another tip is to look at the packaging. High-quality brands often use nitrogen flushing or oxygen-free bottling processes to keep air out and maintain freshness. Blister packs and dark-colored glass bottles are also signs that the manufacturer cares about oxidation and potency. Don't be afraid to contact the company directly. Ask for a certificate of analysis, a document that shows lab test results for potency, purity, and oxidation. Reputable companies will be happy to share this. If they aren't, consider it a red flag. Mistake number 4. Not getting enough omega-3 from diet. Supplements are great, but they should never be your only strategy. That's where mistake number 4 comes in. Not getting enough omega-3s from your actual food. Omega-3 fatty acids are essential nutrients. That means your body can't make them. You have to get them through your diet. And while supplements can help, the foundation of good omega-3 status should still come from whole foods, especially fatty fish. Why? Because food offers a synergistic package of nutrients that your body absorbs and uses efficiently. When you eat a piece of salmon, for instance, you're not just getting EPA and DHA, you're also getting protein, vitamin D, selenium, and other micronutrients that support brain, heart, and immune health. These nutrients often work together to deliver greater benefits than any supplement on its own. The best sources of dietary omega-3s are cold water fatty fish like salmon, sardines, mackerel, herring, and anchovies. Just 2 servings a week of these types of fish can provide more EPA and DHA than many over-the-counter supplements. Unfortunately, most people, especially seniors, fall far short of this. Surveys show that the average intake of EPA and DHA is only about 100 milligrams per day, far below the recommended 250 to 500 milligrams minimum. Why the shortfall? For many, it's simply habit. Fish isn't a regular part of the menu. For others, it's concern over mercury or taste. Some people just don't like fish, but skipping it completely means missing out on one of nature's most powerful anti-inflammatory foods. The good news? There are ways to work around this. Canned sardines and mackerel are budget-friendly, shelf-stable, and packed with omega-3s. Wild salmon, fresh or frozen, is widely available and can be prepared in dozens of easy, flavorful ways. Even omega-3 fortified eggs and grass-fed beef can small but helpful amounts. If you're plant-based, it's even more important to be intentional. Flaxseed, chia seeds, and walnuts provide ALA, a precursor to EPA and DHA, but the conversion is poor, especially in older adults. That's why algae-based DHA supplements are recommended for vegetarians and vegans. And yes, you should still try to eat ALA-rich foods for additional support. Another reason dietary omega-3s matter so much is that they often come in the triglyceride form, the same form found naturally in fish, which tends to be more easily absorbed than the ethyl ester form found in many cheap supplements. When you eat real food, you're also supporting your digestion, encouraging a healthier gut microbiome, and getting nutrients in a form your body understands. Eating omega-3 rich foods also builds consistency. It becomes part of your routine. Supplements are easy to forget or skip, but when you plan 2 or 3 omega-3 rich meals per week, you're reinforcing your intake in a more sustainable and enjoyable way. Still worried about mercury or toxins? Stick with small fish like sardines and anchovies. These species are lower on the food chain, reproduce quickly, and don't accumulate dangerous levels of heavy metals like larger fish sometimes do. Plus, they're cheap, versatile, and environmentally sustainable. Mistake number 5, skipping omega-3s. Because of medication or surgery. It's a common scenario. You're scheduled for surgery, or you're managing a health condition that requires daily medication, and someone, maybe even your doctor, tells you to stop taking fish oil. It sounds reasonable, right? Fish oil can thin the blood, and nobody wants complications in the operating room or unexpected drug interactions. But here's mistake number 5, stopping omega-3s entirely without guidance due to fear around medications or medical procedures, and never starting them again. Yes, omega-3s have mild blood-thinning properties, but the concern is often overstated. Numerous studies have shown that while omega-3s can slightly prolong bleeding time, they do not significantly increase surgical bleeding risk when taken in normal doses, such as 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams per day of combined EPA and DHA. In fact, the American Heart Association has concluded that fish oil is safe for most people undergoing surgery. Of course, if your doctor advises stopping all supplements before surgery, that's important to follow, temporarily. But many seniors never resume their omega-3 routine afterward. That's the real problem. Because long-term, the benefits of omega-3s for heart rhythm, joint health, inflammation, and brain protection often outweigh the temporary pause you may need around surgery. The same goes for medications. Some people are told not to mix fish oil with blood pressure or cholesterol drugs, or blood thinners like warfarin. But again, the evidence suggests that omega-3s can often be safely combined with these medications, and may even enhance their effects under proper supervision. What's critical is that any decision about starting, stopping, or adjusting omega-3s should be based on real conversations with a knowledgeable healthcare provider, not assumptions, outdated warnings, or internet advice. In fact, many cardiologists actively encourage patients on statins or antihypertensives to also take fish oil because it supports overall cardiovascular function and reduces triglyceride levels. So if you've stopped omega-3s because of a surgery or a medication change, or someone once told you they're risky, it's time to revisit that decision. Ask your doctor if you can resume and how to do it safely. And here's something most people don't realize. Omega-3s can actually help recovery. They reduce systemic inflammation, support immune response, and may even speed up wound healing. That's powerful, especially in older adults who recover more slowly after surgery or illness. It's also worth noting that omega-3s have a role in mental health recovery post-surgery. Studies show that maintaining DHA and EPA intake can reduce the risk of post-operative depression and help stabilize mood during the recovery process. This is especially valuable for seniors who may already be dealing with stress or isolation before and after a hospital stay. And for those on multiple medications, omega-3s often have complementary benefits. They can lower triglycerides, ease inflammation in blood vessels, and support healthier lipid profiles, all without adding extra burden to the liver or kidneys. In many cases, they can actually reduce the need for other anti-inflammatory drugs or support lower doses of certain medications over time. Mistake number 6, not testing omega-3 levels. You get your cholesterol tested, you check your blood pressure, but what about your omega-3 levels? Mistake number 6 is something that even health-conscious seniors often miss: not testing your omega-3 index. And yet, this simple test can be one of the most powerful tools in predicting your long-term health, especially when it comes to heart disease, brain aging, and inflammation. The omega-3 index measures the percentage of EPA and DHA in your red blood cell membranes. A healthy omega-3 index is considered to be 8% or higher. Most people, however, especially those in Western countries, score below 5%, which is linked with a significantly higher risk of heart attacks, cognitive decline, and inflammatory disease. Testing your omega-3 index is quick and easy. It's usually done with a small finger prick blood sample that can be collected at home or in a clinic. Within a few days, you get a detailed report showing where you stand and how much improvement is needed. So why don't more people do it? Simple. It's not part of standard checkups. Most doctors don't routinely test for omega-3 status, even though research shows it's just as important as knowing your cholesterol or A1C. That's why taking the initiative matters. There are even mail-in kits available from reputable labs if your provider doesn't offer it. Knowing your omega-3 index gives you a real number to track, not just guesswork. If you start supplementing or eating more fish, you'll actually see the results in your levels. It's motivating, measurable, and meaningful. And here's the key. Once you know your level, you can adjust your intake accordingly. If you're at 4%, you may need more than the average person to reach the optimal range. If you're already close to 8%, you might just need to maintain. Some people naturally metabolize omega-3s faster or absorb them less efficiently due to genetics, gut health, or medications. That means two people could take the same supplement, eat the same diet, and still end up with very different omega-3 levels. Testing helps you personalize your approach instead of following generic advice. Mistake number 7. Taking omega-3 at the wrong time. You've picked the right supplement, you're taking it consistently. But are you taking it at the right time? Mistake number 7 is all about timing, and it's one that quietly limits the effectiveness of omega-3s for many seniors. Omega-3s are fats, and like all fats, they're best absorbed when taken with a meal that contains fat. Taking your fish oil on an empty stomach or with a light snack can dramatically reduce how much your body actually absorbs. This means you could be getting only a fraction of the benefits, even if you're using a high-quality supplement. Research shows that taking omega-3s with your largest meal, often lunch or dinner, improves absorption significantly. That's because digestive enzymes and bile acids released during fat-containing meals help your body emulsify and process the fish oil efficiently. The result, more EPA and DHA actually reach your bloodstream and cells, where they can do their work. Another reason timing matters is compliance. Many people forget to take their supplements in the morning, especially when rushing out the door. But if you pair your omega-3 with dinner, something most people eat at home and in a relaxed setting, it becomes easier to remember and turns into a consistent habit. For some, taking omega-3s at night may even support sleep. While research is still emerging, DHA has been linked to melatonin production and better sleep quality in some studies. If you tend to wake up feeling groggy or fatigued, this small shift in timing could make a noticeable difference. And don't worry too much about the exact hour. It's more important to build consistency. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, The key is pairing it with a nutritious, fat-containing meal that ensures maximum benefit. Think avocado toast, grilled salmon, olive oil-dressed salad, or a lean protein dinner. Also, if you take multiple supplements, spacing them out throughout the day with meals can improve both absorption and tolerance. Omega-3s are often well tolerated with dinner, when your stomach is primed to digest fats and oils. This small detail, timing, can be the difference between "I think it's working" and "wow, I really feel the difference." Don't leave that on the table. Mistake number 8. Ignoring the balance with omega-6. Here's a mistake that goes unnoticed in most households, and yet it affects nearly every senior trying to improve their health with omega-3s. Ignoring the balance between omega-3 and omega-6 fats. Omega-3s and omega-6s are both essential fatty acids. Your body needs them, but they have very different roles. Omega-3s are anti-inflammatory. Omega-6s, while important, tend to be pro-inflammatory when consumed in excess. And that's exactly the problem. Most modern diets are drowning in omega-6 and desperately lacking in omega-3s. A healthy omega-6 to omega-3 ratio is somewhere between 2:1 and 4:1. But the typical Western diet, it's often closer to 15:1 or even higher. That imbalance drives chronic inflammation, increases joint pain, stiffens arteries, and adds fuel to conditions like arthritis, cardiovascular disease, and even cognitive decline. So even if you're taking omega-3 supplements, your results might be muted or completely blocked if your diet is too heavy in omega-6s. Where are all these omega-6s coming from? The biggest culprits are processed seed oils, soybean oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, and cottonseed oil. These are found in everything from salad dressings to baked goods to fried foods. If you eat out often or rely on packaged snacks, chances are you're getting more omega-6 than your body wants. The fix? Reduce processed seed oils and processed foods in general. Cook more meals at home using olive oil, avocado oil, or grass-fed butter. Eat more whole foods, especially leafy greens, fatty fish, and nuts like walnuts. You don't need to eliminate omega-6s entirely. They're still important for brain development, skin health, and hormone production. But you do need to manage the ratio. A small change in your cooking oil or snack choices can tip the scale dramatically in your favor. One easy habit is to read ingredient labels more closely. If you see soybean oil or vegetable oil high on the list, that's a red flag. Swap out margarine for extra virgin olive oil. Replace packaged snacks with raw nuts or seeds. Choose dressings made with avocado or olive oil instead of commercial blends. Mistake number 9. Assuming plant-based omega-3s are enough. If you're someone who avoids fish, or you've been told that flaxseed, chia, or walnuts are good omega-3 sources, you're not alone. These plant foods are often promoted as heart-healthy fats. But here's mistake number 9. Assuming plant-based omega-3s are enough. The reality is that the omega-3s found in plants, primarily ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, are not the same as the EPA and DHA found in marine sources. While ALA is technically an omega-3, it must be converted by your body into EPA and DHA to provide the same anti-inflammatory and brain protective benefits. And this is where the problem starts. The conversion rate from ALA to EPA and DHA is extremely low, often less than 5% for EPA and under 1% for DHA. In seniors, the conversion is even less efficient due to aging metabolism, hormonal shifts, and nutrient deficiencies. That means you could be eating plenty of flax or walnuts and still fall short on the most critical omega-3s your brain and heart need. Plant-based omega-3s still have value. They support overall heart health, provide fiber, and help balance cholesterol levels. But they shouldn't be relied on as your only source of omega-3s, especially if you're trying to reduce inflammation or protect your brain as you age. If you're vegetarian or vegan, the best solution is algae-based omega-3 supplements. These contain DHA and often EPA, directly from the original marine source where fish get it. Algae oil is 100% plant-based, clean, and highly bioavailable. It's the only proven way to raise DHA levels without consuming fish or fish oil. For everyone else, the message is clear. Include marine-based omega-3s in your supplement routine or your meals, and treat flax and chia as a healthy bonus, not a replacement. Another consideration is the misconception that fortified foods or omega-3 enriched snacks can fill the gap. While they may contain some ALA or even small amounts of added DHA, the doses are typically too low to meaningfully impact your omega-3 index, especially if you're dealing with chronic inflammation or age-related cognitive concerns. Let's finish strong with a recap and a daily strategy to keep your omega-3 levels in the healthy range for life. Now that you've seen the 9 most common omega-3 mistakes, let's bring it all together. These aren't just small oversights. Each mistake we covered, from skipping fish to choosing the wrong supplement, can limit your ability to protect your brain, your heart, your joints, and your overall vitality as you age. But the good news? Every mistake has a solution. And the right steps don't have to be complicated. Start with your diet. Include fatty fish like salmon or sardines twice a week if you can. Cut back on omega-6 rich seed oils and processed snacks. Choose healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, and nuts. These shifts alone help set the stage for better inflammation balance and improved absorption of the omega-3s you do take. Then choose the right supplement. Look for one with clear EPA and DHA content, third-party testing, and freshness indicators. Take it with your largest meal to maximize absorption, and consider algae-based options if you're plant-based. If you've ever been told to avoid fish oil due to surgery or medications, have a conversation with your doctor. Don't just stop and never look back. Most people can safely continue omega-3s, and in some cases, they're even more beneficial when you're on medication or in recovery. And don't forget to test your omega-3 levels. Your omega-3 index is a powerful health metric that gives you clarity on where you stand and what you need to adjust. Building your omega-3 strategy is like tuning a piano, one note at a time. When it's in harmony, the results show up in how you feel. Sharper mind, smoother joints, calmer mood, stronger heart. So don't let confusion or outdated advice stop you. You now know what to do and what to avoid. Apply these insights to your daily life, and you'll turn omega-3s into a true ally for healthy aging. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe for more smart, senior-focused health tips from Active Healthcare. Thanks for watching, and here's to your next chapter of sharper, stronger, and more vibrant health.